Welcome back, everybody. It is Tony, and I have another video in my keto series. I'm doing this thing for this month of July where I'm really getting back into keto, and I'm starting to do some kind of exercise every day because I need to get this done. So I started thinking, okay, Tony, when you started doing keto, what did you want to know about it? Because I actually have some friends who have, within the past couple months, started on this keto journey. So I'm trying to look at it from their point of view. What would they have liked to have known in the beginning to kind of help them on their journey? So what this video is about is 5 things that you need to know doing keto. Things I would have liked to know in the beginning while doing keto. So in a nutshell, keto is low carb, high fat. You're basically cutting out the carbs. I do 20 grams or less every day. And because my body doesn't have carbs to process for energy, it is going to use the fat for energy. So that's it in a nutshell. Like I said, I do 20 grams a day. And so I have to kind of keep track of my food. Read the nutritional label. Read it. It tells you everything you need to know there. Remember to get your net carbs. You look at the total carbohydrates. You can subtract any fiber that's in there. And if it has sugar, alcohol, you can subtract that too. And that gives you your net carbs. And you're going to total that up. And at the end of the day, hopefully you will be at 20 or below. So the first thing that I wish I would have known is to actually eat real food. I know that sounds like such a simple thing, but it's kind of hard in today's society to eat real food because we've been brought up on all this processed food. Basically, when I go grocery shopping, I try to stay on the outside. The dairy case, the meat wall, the fruits, the vegetables, the real food, okay? The aisles in the middle, that's usually all processed. If you haven't noticed that, think about it. Yeah, all the fresh food's pretty much on the outside. So try to stick to as much real food as you can. You're going to have to do some cooking. If you're really serious about this, do some cooking. What I used to do at one point on Sundays is I would cook a whole bunch of food and then use that for lunch during the week. A couple times a week, we do this thing where we just mass hard boil all these eggs so we have them during the week. Really good snacks. You grab some, throw them in with your lunch. It requires planning. And the night before your work week starts, you know what? Get your food going. Get it ready. So all you have to do in the morning is just grab some stuff and you're good to go. It's not that hard, but you have to learn how to do this. There are some really great channels here on YouTube that teach you how to make food. I will link Keto Connect below because they are actually one of my favorites. But you need to eat real food. And part of that is you can go buy these processed keto-friendly foods like Atkins bars and things like that. I discovered them in the beginning and I loved them. I thought they were great. For 3 net grams, I can have a chocolate bar or things like that. And they have them like meal, dessert, treat bars, whatever. The thing was I was eating them too much. And they kept me from losing my weight. I've learned that sugar alcohols, believe it or not, the fake sugar actually does stall me. So I eat them every now and then. That's what you do. If you're going to eat them every now and then. Do not use them as a meal replacement. Do not get too used on them, because it actually will hurt you in the long run. One thing I've noticed by sugar alcohols, if I have too much of them, and I know I have a weird way of saying the word alcohol. I always say alcohol. It's just a little thing of mine. But if I have too many of those, like if I go for 3 days eating those Atkins bars, I will actually get I will get really gassy. Let's just say it. I will get really gassy, and it is the most painful gas. So I don't eat them. Every now and then. Actually, I don't think I've had an Atkins bars in quite a few weeks. So yeah, if you can, don't eat them. Number 2, you need to get some fat into your diet. I know it's really hard. That was one of the hardest things for me to remember or get used to, is I actually have to eat fat. We live in a society where we've been told, eat low fat, eat no fat if you can, reduce fat. All the different ways of saying, don't eat fat. It's bad for you. And you know what I learned in keto? Actually, it's not. You have good fats and you have bad fats. You have your processed fats, which are not good, but then you have your good fats. Your butter, your animal fats. I do MCT oil, which also has some fat in it. There are good fats, and that's what you need to do. And I will put a link down below to a list of good fats and of bad fats so you can see what the difference is. But you need to get fats, okay? If you're cutting all this carbs down, your body needs something to burn, and you need the fats in your diet to burn. Very hard lesson to learn. Number 3, make sure you get enough electrolytes. Doing keto is actually going to lower the foods where you would get your electrolytes out of. So you need to find a way to introduce salt and magnesium and potassium and vitamin D back into your diet. And also, when you start keto, in the beginning, your body goes through this thing where, because you're not getting the carbs, your body is going to start fighting. It's going to start being mad and throw a hissy fit, and it's called the keto flu. If you get your electrolytes, it's going to help you not get the keto flu. Lots of water and electrolytes. That's what I tell people. So how do you get these electrolytes? I eat pink Himalayan salt. I put that all in my food. Some people put it in their water. Some people put it in their coffee. I haven't tried that yet. I don't like the waters with the salt in it. I just don't, all those electrolyte waters, I don't like that. So, but I make sure I put it on my food. And another myth that we've been told our lives is you need to lower your salt intake. Lower your salt intake. And you know what? I did that. And that was another thing that was hard for me, was adding salt into my diet. Pink Himalayan salt is really, really great. You can buy the grinders. I buy mine at Walmart, and then I can buy the refill. It's not that expensive when you really, weigh out the cost and stuff like that, but it's actually really good, and I really enjoy it. Make sure you have some magnesium. When I start feeling like I have leg cramps, I take these magnesium citrate pills every now and then I can tell when my body needs the electrolytes, because I start to feel like I'm getting leg cramps, or I do get leg cramps. So I up my salt intake, I up my magnesium, I have some potassium pills I take every now and then. And, once I make sure to start getting the salt and the vitamin D and potassium, magnesium back in my diet, then I can kind of ease up on the pills. But look at foods that have these vitamins, so that way you don't have to take the supplements. And another quick little side note, look at your vitamins and stuff like that, because actually some of them do have carbs. Vitamin C has carbs. I did not know that. I had to stop my vitamin C pills, but I found another way to get that vitamin that I needed. Number 4, and this is really hard for people, don't obsess over the scale. In the beginning, it's great, especially once you start losing weight, because you're like, yes, yes. And then that day comes when you step on the scale and you expected it to go down, and it didn't. Maybe it went up. And that's when you start doubting and second guessing everything. And you're like, what am I doing with my life? Why am I doing this? I gained weight. This is not what I want. And you are going to just feel horrible. All because of that little scale that you step on. Look, I have a scale. I weigh myself. Usually I'll weigh myself in the morning after I go to the bathroom, because, wake up, you gotta pee and everything. And I go in, I weigh myself. Best time, naked, okay? Because I am taking everything off that I can to make sure that scale gets down as low as it can. Not gonna lie about that. But my husband sometimes will weigh himself at the end of the night, and I'm like, why are you doing that? You've been eating everything. And every now and then he actually weighs less than he did in the morning. So I'm like, okay, good job. But don't weigh yourself at night. You're setting yourself up for failure. You should actually weigh yourself every day. And I know that's really hard, because look, there are times I weigh myself every day. I've gotten to the point now where I really don't care what it says, because I go based on my clothes. That is the number one way of realizing if you're doing it right. I tell people, if you're going to do this, take a pair of pants and take a shirt that you can't fit into, or too tight. Too tight is really good, because you can fit into it, but it's tight. And you know what? Like once a week, once every 2 weeks, try that on, because you will start to realize, oh my God, it's getting looser. My poor husband, who felt like he wasn't doing great, you should see his clothes are just so loose, they're so baggy on him. He actually fit into a shirt that he hasn't worn, I want to say, in a good 6-7 years. He sends me a picture of it, and I go, is that your Reebok shirt? And he looked good. It wasn't tight. It fit really well. Clothes, okay? Always go by your clothes. And eventually you're going to get to that point where that tight shirt and pair of pants are loose. So then you got to get yourself another one, okay? I had a pair of mystery pants. My mother gave me this pair of pants. It had no tag on the inside. I didn't know what it was. Remember, when I started, I was like hitting a size 24. And I figured this has got to be like a size 12. And so every now and then, like once a month, I would put it on. And at first I couldn't get past my thighs. It was down around my knees, but slowly it kept going up and up and up. And you know what? I can put that sucker on now. I can button it. I can zip it up. There's no way I'm going to sit in it because I'm going to tear them, but I figure another 10, maybe 15 pounds, and I can fit in that thing. But you know what? It felt so good when I put them up and I zipped them up. I was like, yes. So don't go by the scale. Don't obsess by the scale. If you're going to weigh yourself, don't weigh yourself every day. Don't, especially in the beginning, because it will mess with your head. Once you get past that initial part of obsessing over your weight and you realize, you know what, don't focus on it, then that's when I pretty much, I don't mind weighing myself every day because I know it's a number. I go by my clothes. And once you understand that, you can be so much better off, okay? Don't set yourself up for failure. Don't. So much easier when you don't do that. And number 5 in my list of things that I wish I would have known about keto in the beginning, and I know a lot of this does not have to do with actual tips about eating keto and things like this. This is more about your mentality, okay? Mentality is a very important thing. It's getting yourself into the right frame of mind for keto because it's going to mess with you. It is. From your body going, where's my carbs? I want my carbs. To you deciding, you know what? I don't want that pizza. Be strong. Don't be strong. Don't give in. It messes with your head. It does. But let me tell you something. Once you start seeing the results, you're going to be like, yes, I look good. I feel good. The brain fog went away, which usually I think happens around week 3. For me, it happened week 3. I could think clear. Clarity became a way of life for me, okay? But one thing that I noticed in the beginning is, look, I hate to say this, and we're just going to say it bluntly, you're going to have haters. You will have haters. Even people who are there supporting you will try to sabotage you or maybe say little things here and there that you're just like, that sounded kind of mean in a way. Okay, you're going to have haters. In the beginning, I had people came up to me and are like, Toni, this is not a good idea for you because, you shouldn't be eating so much fat and you shouldn't be eating foods with so much salt and this is not good for your health. All the doctors tell you this is a bad idea. Well, and I would tell them, well, my doctor actually suggested this because I do have a doctor who does keto. Oh, no, she doesn't know what she's talking about. Or once you start losing weight, you get the people who come over and make little snide comments about it. And I did have some friends who witnessed it and they're like, you know what? They're only saying that because you're losing the weight and they're not. So-and-so is trying this new diet and nothing's working. And here you are doing everything. You're going against what we've all been taught and you're losing the weight. And they're like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Toni. You keep doing you. You get haters. Maybe it's a husband who doesn't like the fact that all of a sudden you're losing weight. I'm not going to lie. My husband asked me in the beginning, are you on the divorce diet? And I'm like, no, believe it or not, I'm just doing it for me. I'm not doing it for anyone else. I'm doing this for me, which I thought was kind of funny, but I understand where he was coming from. I really do. And now he's doing it. I wonder if he's on the divorce diet. Anyway, you're going to have haters. You are. And I just kept telling myself, you know what? These are my friends. I know that a lot of them have my back. And I know that a lot of them were genuinely worried about it. But once they started seeing the results, people started coming around. And they will come around. I think one of the best things I heard was one of my really good friends was like, you know what? I know I was against this in the beginning, but I see the results and you are looking good. And I can tell that you're feeling good. You have all this energy. And she was telling me how I just feel like that she can tell that I'm like lit from within and that she totally supports it. And she's like, you keep doing it. You keep doing it. And that was like, thanks. I really appreciate that. So yeah, it's a big mind messing thing that you're going to do here, but it is amazing. And if you can get past all those mental roadblocks and actually start eating the foods you need to be doing, you will see success. And it's great. It's amazing. I am 49 and I haven't felt this good in ages. I've always had stomach issues, so I never remember having a point in my life where I didn't have stomach issues. And it's so nice that I can go out and eat and not worry about, okay, as long as if I stick to my keto, I'm not going to be sick. I'm not going to be sick. And I love that. The energy is amazing. I have this thing where my brain works so much faster than my mouth. And in my head, I'm telling myself, slow down, Toni, slow down. That happens. But those are the 5 things that I wish I would have known starting keto. And let me know if you have any issues with any of these. If these 5 things were like, yes, I wish I would have known that too. Or if you have any other things that you wish, if you've done keto and you realize other things, put them down below in the comment description, and maybe I'll make another video with 5 more things I wish I would have known. But you know what? You guys got this. You totally got this, and I am there for you, and I will see you guys in my next video for my keto series. Bye.